Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be making a tier list for the fruits of every fruit in Blox Fruits. So starting off with Gravity, it's a mythical fruit. It's one of the worst, but it's still a mythical, which makes it pretty good overall. Its abilities have a lot of knockback, which aren't great for grinding, but the damage is pretty good. It has one stun ability that stops them for a pretty long time, which is good. Because of that, I'd put it in B tier. Next one is Spring. Spring is one of the worst fruits. It's not great for damage or PvP, and it's not a Lugia, so I would put it in D tier. The next fruit is Spin. So it's just like Spring. It's not great for damage like PvP or grinding, so probably D tier. Next is Portal. This one's kind of interesting because it's not that great for damage, but it's pretty good, and it's very good for travel. Like if you want to go somewhere quick, I would get it. Because of traveling, I'd put this above Gravity in the B tier. Okay, then there's Bomb. Bomb is actually surprisingly pretty good for damage. Not great for PvP or pretty good for grinding, I would say, so because of that, I'd put it in C tier. Okay, next is Dragon. Dragon is the second best fruit in the game, according to the shop. It has very high damage, and once you get fully maxed out with the Dragon, it's pretty good for damage, so I would say probably A tier. Okay, next is Sand Fruit. This is not great because it's not a Lugia, and it's not great for grinding or PvP. And another downside is when you're in the water with Sand Fruit, you take ×2 the damage you normally would. So because of that, I'd probably put it in D tier. Okay, next is Ice Fruit. This is a very good fruit actually for grinding in first C because it has a lot of stun moves. So I would probably put this above Bomb in the C tier for first C. Next is Kilo. I don't know what I have to say about this fruit. It's not great for either, so I'd probably put it in D tier. Next is Dark. Dark is a actually decent fruit. I think it is a Lugia. Pretty good damage. Not great for once you get good, but pretty good for the starting game. So I'll put it in C tier. And the next fruit is Phoenix. Phoenix is a legendary fruit that's worth 1.8 million. You can turn into a bird, fly around, and you can awaken this fruit. It's very good when it's awakened, so because of that, I would say B tier. The next fruit is Diamond. Diamond, it's not great. I've never seen anybody using it, so I would probably put it in D tier, but above Spring. Okay, next is Leopard. This fruit is the most expensive one in the game. It's very good for damage, but its knockback is not great. A lot of people like this fruit because it's very spammy. Like the cooldowns go down really fast, and it doesn't use any energy. So I'd probably say A tier above Dragon. The next fruit is Revive. Revive is a fruit that is pretty good because if you get killed by an NPC, you spawn back in as a skeleton and don't lose anything. And its moves do decent damage, so I would say C tier. Okay, next is Paw. Not many people use this. It's not great for how rare it is, but because of its range, it has the farthest range as farther than any other fruit in the game. So I'd probably say B tier. Next is Light. It's the same as Ice for first C, very good for grinding. They're also still pretty good for second C and third C for grinding, but not as great. And you can awaken it to make it better, so I'd probably put it above Ice in the C tier. Okay, next fruit is Chop. I think this is a Lugia. It's kind of like Kilo though. Low damage, not great for PvP, but it is a Lugia, so because of that, I'll probably put it above Diamond in the D tier. Next is Spirit. It's very good for killing bosses, I would say, because if you spam your spirits, your guys will do a lot of damage and your little buffs will do a lot. So I'm gonna put this in the A tier. Next is Blizzard. Very good for damage, pretty good for travel, pretty good for PvP too. Because of all three of those, I'd probably put this in the S tier. Okay, the next one is Spike. Spike is just like Hilo, not great for damage, not good for PvP, not great for grinding. It's not a Lugia, so probably D. The next one is Control. Control is a fruit where you have like a force field that you can spawn, and then you can do a whole bunch of stuff in the force field. The abilities are pretty good, but because you have a small range, it's not great for PvP. It is pretty good for grinding though, because they can't really get out of your range. So I would say A tier, about in front of Spirit. Next one is Flame. Flame is a Lugia. It has pretty good attacks when it's awakened and even not awakened. So I'd probably put this behind Ice in C tier. Smoke is not great. It's not great for damage or grinding, but it is a Lugia. So I'd probably say the front in D tier. Next is Dull. Dull is one of the best fruits awakened. It has very high damage and good for PvP. It's medium for grinding, but it's not bad. So I'd probably put it above Blizzard in the S tier. Shadow is a mythical fruit. It's pretty good for grinding. Oh, whoops. But it's not great overall. Like, its damage is pretty good, but not much else. So I would say B tier, about here. Next is Falcon. Falcon, it's not a Lugia. It's not great for damage. It's one of the worst fruits. I would say D tier, like here probably. Rumble, very good fruit for damage actually. Not great for grinding, but very good for PvP. I would say A tier. Next is Buddha. It's the best fruit in the game for grinding, especially awakened. They can't hit you, but you can always hit them, so automatically I would say S tier, above Blizzard. The next is Rubber. Rubber is a fruit that most people know. It's pretty good in the game, but it's not that good. It's not a Lugia, has a lot of range though. I would say C tier, behind Flame. Next is Spider. Spider awakened has really good damage. It's not great for grinding, but it's still really good damage, so I would say B tier, behind Shadow. Next is the Love Fruit. The flight ability is actually really good for this. It's overall a pretty good fruit, I would say so. So I would say B tier, behind Spider. Next is Magma. When Magma's awakened, it's very good for grinding. High damage, good for killing sea beasts, because you can also walk on the water just like Ice. So I would say probably B tier, about front of Phoenix. Next is Quake, the worst legendary, but still pretty good. Awakened, it has a tsunami. Actually, no, that's not awakened. It's pretty good. It has a tsunami ability. There's pretty good awakened abilities, but overall, I'd say C tier, probably above Flame. Next is Venom. Venom has very high damage when you have the transformation. Overall, I'd automatically just give it an S tier, behind Blizzard. Actually, no, in front of it. That's good. And then I'd say Barrier. Barrier is not a great fruit overall. Not great for damage. Cooldown's pretty long and not good for PvP. I would say D tier, round Diamond. Well, yeah, that's the tier chart. This is what it looks like. This is my rating, so not everybody has the same opinions, but if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.